All right, guys, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters qualifier here for the European region, moving on forward to Shenzhen, as we found ourselves in a semi-final now, and it's an all-Dutch lineup by the looks of things.
Yeah, that's actually has been a very, very long time, I think, since we had a semi-final between two Dutch players in a Premier European qualifier. Harstem and Uthermal just wrecking the top side of this bracket. And let's take a look at the bottom side of the bracket as well, James, as Snoot is still going strong, defeating his, I wouldn't really call it his nemesis, but a player that he has definitely dropped some series against, Targa. So this is also a very promising bracket for Snoot, someone I would say that could definitely use a victory today after that rough WCS round of 32 he had. Overall, this qualifier has delivered so far. It's been fun games, fun results, and we're not even close to done yet.
Yeah, indeed. Lower bracket, of course, has stipulations in the second round, things like Bunny versus Mana, TLO versus Showtime. So already there's going to be some very good players eliminated in the very beginning of things.
Yep, I mean, we've been giving a lot of props to the Liquid boys over the last few months. If they have been absolutely dominating the European scene, just all of them, even Red and stuff as well, you know, like not just Snoot and Bunny, but TLO and Red. They've all been so consistent, so solid over the last few months. But today, it's a different type of European players that are shining.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing is done yet. There is a good chance that in the end we'll still end up with Snoot and Bunny, as Bunny is definitely capable of making it through the lower bracket, and Snoot has what it takes to win the upper bracket. But for now, all eyes will be on this Dutch semi-final. It's been a lot of fun for me talking with these boys in chat a little bit. We were joking around and, you know, just throwing out random Dutch terms. But the boys are ready. We are ready. We're loaded into our very first game, which is going to be played on Coda. And I think this is going to be an awesome one, James.
I think so too. See who can advance on. Basically, you win this one, you win the next one, and then you qualify. So good luck to these guys, as we do have spawning up to the top left. It is Harstem from Invasion Esports. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran. It is Uthermal for 80 Gaming.
So do you think this logo, this symbol from Invasion Gaming, is it based on Space Invaders?
I guess so, yeah. It looks like it.
You know, you want to know one of the coolest nerdy things that I've ever bought? This is something that would excite you.
Oh?
In my old house when I lived in the Netherlands in like 2008 to 2009, well, basically my mom's house. I never had a house in Holland.
Okay.
I bought like this ice cube tray of Space Invaders. So you would fill it up with water and then you'd have Space Invaders ice cubes. Like, how cool is that?
Oh, wow, that is good. I actually might have to try and find one of these. That sounds like a great idea.
Yep. Woo! Look at Harstem bringing out another Dutch special. And then, of course, I'm giving a small tribute to myself. The 11 gate, James.
Uh-oh.
And if you ask me, like, Roddy, well, what does this mean? The thing is, he's probably going to play it very different than me, so I don't know what it means, but it gets the people going.
How do you play? Is it a normally Stargate go-to somewhere else?
No, I actually just played with a Stalker opening.
Okay.
And then the first Stalker is rallied across the map, so it's going to try to pick off the SCV that's building the command center on the low ground. And then if their bunker is not up immediately, then the second Stalker can be rallied across the map as well. And even if the Reaper kills 2 or 3 probes at home, you don't have to sweat those 2 or 3 worker losses, because your 2 Stalkers are going to kill 5, 6, 7 SCVs on the other side of the map. But I don't think Harstem is going to do that, so there's a good chance that this is going to be a proxy starter gate indeed, as we already see that probe on the right top side of the map. And you know, this surprised me a tiny bit. And if you ask me, like, why, Roddy? Like, this is not super uncommon. This is a very risky opening over here by Harstem. And Harstem has been so solid. And I was just thinking about this in our little break. Harstem is also not someone who has risen to the top out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
No, he's been consistently getting better and better and becoming more solid over time. So to see him rely on a little bit of a risky / wonky build over here in game number 1, that surprises me. He also tweeted out that he thought facing Uthermal is possibly the most difficult opponent he could have got in this bracket. There may be a little bit of history over here where Uthermal just kind of has Harstem's number, and that's why Harstem feels like he has to do something out of the ordinary to catch up.
Yeah, maybe. This Reaper also, likewise, is going to be able to jump in, have a look around, and see only one pylon, and then he kind of gives the game away completely almost.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to run into the natural, and then I think he pretty much knows already. Because Harstem, who doesn't have a Nexus down at 405, that doesn't smell right. We all know that these players drop their Nexus around 340, 350 tops. So he's going to go into the main base, he's going to spot, all right, single pylon, and now he's going to drop an eBay as soon as possible, and he already had one on the way.
Yeah, so easy reactions here from Uthermal as the Stargate over towards this right-hand side isn't going to do a huge amount just yet. As long as Uthermal plays this out correctly, positions his missile turrets right, as the first Oracle is now underway.
What's interesting is that he drops a bunker and he drops it on the top side of the ramp. And if you guys wonder, like, why is he dropping it on the top side of the ramp? This gives me the idea that the way that this opening goes by Harstem, obviously this is an opening that relies on doing a lot of economic damage. And Uthermal wants to make sure that this game doesn't spiral out of control, that it's not Oracle damage into 3-4 gate follow-up, and then he falls apart. I think he's going to play this very safe, maybe even lift his orbital back to the high ground, and just make sure that he has a safety point to fall back on, and he just doesn't take a whole lot of damage. And this is a great start, I think, for Uthermal.
Yeah.
And look at his follow-up, by the way. It is indeed a second Oracle, and Uthermal immediately floats his command center to the high ground, and this is not something that if you're Harstem with, that you're very happy to see. Like, no, you hate seeing this, because you want your opponent to try to defend multiple locations at once, try to play it as greedy as possible. Uthermal doing the complete opposite, playing this very safe, and forcing Harstem right now to drop the Nexus on the other side of the map, because Harstem knows there's no way he's going to bust the Terran that's essentially on one base, despite having 2 command centers.
I like the bunker as well, because it acts as a safe haven for these Marines in the middle from the Oracles. I mean, Oracles can do really well against small numbers of Marines, but in this situation, not at all. You can't really do anything about it.
What a rough Oracle start over here. He has not killed it. Oh my god, Harstem is having a disastrous game. I cannot believe this. This was a double Oracle opening that has killed absolutely 0 workers. One Oracle has died and the other Oracle has lost the majority of his real HP. Of course, the shields will regenerate, but this is not the type of opening that you're going for. And to top it all off, during all of this, the Reaper somehow, some way managed to sneak in 2 kills.
Yeah.
Phenomenal opening for Uthermal and a disaster for Harstem.
Really good start for Uthermal, and at the moment he's on lockdown. You know, he's making his missile turret at the natural, making sure that these extra Oracles aren't going to do anything. Even the Marines,
and I love that,
not scared to move out.
Yeah, because he knows that his opponent has opened up with 2 Oracles, so he knows it's very unlikely that Harstem has a whole lot of units at home. And even if he ends up losing all of those Marines, if he trades them out for 6 or 5 probes, then that is already great. And the Widow Mine somehow connects. Oh my! Whoa! Yeah, I mean, I wasn't exaggerating when I said this was an absolutely disastrous opening for Harstem.
Wow.
Harstem knows the type of play that Uthermal is. And if he invests so much into a heavy aggressive opening like this, and he does absolutely nothing with it, and then ends up losing both Oracles, the writing is pretty much on the wall.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not expect game number 1 to end in 8 minutes and in favor of Uthermal.
Yeah, it's very rare, right? There's situations in casting where I actually take my hands off the keyboard and in surprise, because that was just perfect.
Yeah, it's just one of these games, you know, like we all know this feeling as StarCraft 2 players, that sometimes you queue up for a ladder game and you start with good spirit, you know, like, all right, let's play a game, and then it's like, oh, Reaper gets the first probe kill, oh, Miss Relic Monarchy, oh, like everything's going wrong, I hate this game, you know. And that is pretty much what Harstem went through in that game. Nothing went his way.
Yeah. All right, well, we're getting into it. Cactus Valley for game at number 2. Hopefully it's not as quick as the first one, because that was a bit of a blowout.
Yeah. And let's not forget about what happened between Uthermal and Lilbao as well, where Uthermal, I think, opened up Gasless Expand on this map.
Yes.
I have to sneeze, by the way. This is going to be really awkward. I think we should jump into the game as soon as possible. Mute me.
You're muted.
I jinxed myself. You can never say that you're going to sneeze and then not actually sneeze, but I felt it was going to be really awkward at a certain point. Anyways, I think Harstem was maybe hoping that Uthermal would go for a different opening, because imagine if he goes Gasless, Expand into Factory, he's very low on units, probably doesn't have an eBay, and then if he wouldn't have scouted the Stargate, you look at a completely different game. But yeah, this was just disaster from start to finish for Harstem.
Well, let's get into game number 2 now, as we go on to Cactus Valley to figure out who is going to be advancing on. Uthermal at the moment doing brilliantly. And not so brilliantly, unfortunately for him, just yet is Harstem down to the bottom left-hand corner as our blue Protoss. And, of course, up to the left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran. I'm pretty sure I just said blue Protoss. But anyway, it's a blue Terran. Up to the top left-hand corner, it is Uthermal for A2 Gaming. So...
Oh my god, I'm still on the verge of sneezing.
That's a long
I know, there's a build-up. This is going to be the tsunami sneeze.
The tsunami sneeze?
It's going to be like, you know, like some people, like, you know, like how some girls have a really cute sneeze, and then like some guys, they have like, you know, the overly manly sneeze.
Yeah.
I feel this is like on the upper echelon of overly manly sneeze. It's going to be like, it's you! Right.
Wow.
This is awful, man. I hate feeling like this. Anyways, Cactus Valley is going to be a second map. I think I've been pretty vocal about this map already when it comes to this matchup. We saw Lilbao early today actually winning this game, winning this map pretty convincingly against Uthermal. Back then, Uthermal went gas first. This time, again, gas first over here for Uthermal. So he's probably going to open up very, very aggressively once more.
Yeah, go for those Widow Mines, get them in. If he follows it up with Hellions and stuff like that, then we'll see how Harstem's going to be able to deal with it. In the past, I've always seen Harstem being pretty good at dealing with those kinds of initial attacks. So unless he was doing something really aggressive himself, I think he'd be okay and on lockdown.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you make a good point there. If Harstem doesn't do anything too wild over here, and he just has a very safe and standard approach to this matchup against this opening of Uthermal, I think he should be fine. Because, I mean, we just complimented him about how solid he has been. And part of being solid is just not dying to random builds or to like super aggressive openings. And in general, Harstem does not die to stuff like this. But we'll see. Maybe Uthermal is a little bit of a nemesis for Harstem. Could be.
I mean, as you said before, with his tweet out, it would give rise to that kind of idea. And that previous game was just, unfortunately for Harstem, all over the place. Didn't really line up for him.
Harstem pretty much the only Protoss alive in the opposite side of this bracket, correct? Yes, he is. Because he almost actually lost game number 3 against Elaser. I was watching that game earlier today, which was casted by Vardy.
Is he the gentleman on SC to improve?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so yeah.
Verdi. No, not Verdi. That's the Russian Protoss. Damn it.
Wordy.
Wordy. There we go. Yes, not Verdi, but Wordy. Anyways, but he was able to survive round number 1, and then he was very convincing against TLO in his second series of the day. Being the last Protoss for now, of course, plenty of Protoss players still alive on the bottom side of this IEM bracket. But one of them is running into Bunny. Mana, that is. So that's going to be a raw series for Mana. We will see. We need a little bit of Protoss pride around here, James. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to hop back in my car and drive home crying.
Harstem's got to fly the flag high for you. So he can not only do it for the Duchies, but he can also do it for the Protoss. Well, for now, it has been the Stargate opener here for Harstem on the other side of the map.
Did Harstem actually go in there with his probe?
Into where? Into the main base?
Into the main?
No, he didn't. Does he not know that he's there?
I'm actually not 100% sure, mate. I was not paying attention to the scouting probe.
Oh, okay. So
he knows. Maybe he saw a marine on the ramp or something.
Yeah, he must know because the Oracle is rallied up towards that direction.
Yeah. So I guess he saw the marine on the ramp, and that's like all that he actually has to know.
Yep, it's all good. It's all good. So SCV though finally is now going to get confirmation of where he is, although of course he knew from the process of elimination.
Ooh.
And it is this one Widow Mine. Oh, he's also sent this and actually spotted the Oracle as well. Okay,
so this is interesting because Harstem is not doing what Lilbao did, and that is bringing the Oracle back home. Actually, no, now he is. He's going to change his mind. There's going to be a unit's going to be unloaded in the main base. He's going to burrow the Widow Mine right next to the Stargate. That is a very interesting approach. Connects with the Stalker. That is very nice. He could theoretically pick up these Marines, but instead... Oh my god, whoa! Are you kidding me? Uthermal, you're so sick!
Oh my god!
I mean... Against Stalkers, okay, but against Oracles?
Wow.
What?
What did we just witness?
I didn't even know that was possible against Oracles. I thought Oracles die or kill units too quickly.
That was so sick.
It's disgusting.
Another Oracle's out, yeah, and the Widowman unfortunately wasn't on charge, so now it couldn't actually kill it off as soon as it popped out. But another Oracle is in production here. He's trying to lure it into the Widowmine once again, but has to be very, very careful.
Oh, Harstem, you're playing with fire. Very unfortunate. Uthermal did make a small misclick. He tried to pick up those 2 Marines. Imagine if those 2 Marines would have been saved there, then he could have picked them up and dropped them back in, and he could have maybe put them into the bunker, and that would have been great news for him. Okay, wow. As awesome as that was great, in the end, I don't think it was enough for Uthermal. Like, yes, he killed an Oracle, and he forced out a photon overcharge, but he did not kill any workers.
Did he go triple command center last time, though?
No, he didn't. This is different.
Okay. So, at least from here, he can technically have a phenomenal economy, eventually.
Yeah, but he didn't kill any workers, so I'm still a little bit worried for Uthermal. As awesome as that was, because that was great, the second time he misclicked, and he was not able to pick up those 2 Marines. And I think if he would have kept those 2 Marines alive, he would have continued this little aggression party for slightly longer. The Widowmine is going to burrow. Harstem is going to pull workers immediately. He's going to sacrifice 1 probe, kills the Marine as well. Oh, there's a second Widowmine.
Oh. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful about that. These Marines are doing okay for themselves. Another Marine dies offhand as well as the probe. And the Mothership Core was actually taking quite a bit of damage, but it will be totally
Oh, there are Hellions in the main base as well. During all this, man, Uthermal is so sick with his aggression.
Oh my god.
And this time I think, well, Photon Ocha is being casted, and Vision being used there as well. You could see Harstem panicking a little bit. But like, oh, I think one mine is going to shoot. The top mine is going to shoot. Oh my god, it's going to be a big shot. No, it kills the Oracle.
Ooh. I think that was redirected attack, right? I mean, surely it would have shot at the, well, regardless.
No, I actually don't like. I don't think you would ever go for an Oracle if you can kill 5 or 6 probes.
Oh well.
Still though, the follow-up aggression made this worth it for Uthermal. At first, I was not convinced that this was all worth it.
It never ends.
And he's gonna burrow again. Oh, he's gonna get the 6 shot. No, he's not.
That was
close.
It could have been a 6 shot, but it ended up being a worse shot because it did a lot of damage to his Marines.
And loses the medevac there as well. So, all right, this is finally it, right? It's over.
Has to be.
Calm before the nub. He's gonna fly in one more time with the 2 Hellions.
Okay.
And Harstem doesn't have like the greatest Sim City working for him, so these Hellions actually have some free reign. If we can get 3 or 4 workers here, that's already great again.
So he's got 17, 21 worker kills now here.
Oh.
Very nice.
That didn't even feel like a 21 kill worker opening.
No, it really didn't. It was just kind of, you know, all over the place, small little hits there, here and there. The front is going to be bunkered down now as well. I don't think this can do too much for Harstem.
Uthermal's playing on a whole nother level right now. Okay, this is a very cute move. Oh my god, that's such a sick hallucinated Phoenix shot. But gets the medevac, but I still don't think it's good enough to just win the game over here. I think Harstem is putting himself in an unwinnable position, and I think all of these units are going to die.
Oh no.
The Marine count is high. Oh man, this has been an awesome game with great moves, but I think Harstem has just...
Oh, he missed the medevac as well. He barely got that at the very end. Such a scrappy kind of back and forth game.
Yeah.
Not using scrappy in a derogatory way though at all, because all of these moves here and left and right have been insane.
I know, there are like 3 moves over here in this game that could have made it to Reddit.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, that was an absolute great hallucinated Phoenix shot. Not only did he trigger the mine, but he triggered it right above the 3 or 4 Marines and the medevac. But then, you know, the follow-up by committing all those units, it was just not worth it. I think that Harstem just really felt like he needed to do more, because he is aware, like, man, I took so many losses at home. I need to do something on the other side of the map. How many SCVs can I get? Well, he got a couple, but I don't think he even knows he's playing against triple orbital. No, he doesn't.
7 mules are active at the moment. Oh, God.
That should be illegal.
Yeah, this is such a strong economy at the moment for Uthermal.
The Dutch economy has not been thriving like this since the 17th century, James. And we call that the golden age.
Yeah, not quite been the same. Uthermal here, he's bringing in the money from the Netherlands. And let's see now if he can do much at the front. This one Widowmine is just going to waddle on forwards and then...
Hey, did all Oracles die? Yes. Okay, he does have an observer.
Yeah.
But it's on the other side of the map, actually. He has no detection. Man, he can be very fortunate this mine didn't burrow closer.
Oh, dear. Well, yeah, these Zealots and Stalkers can be safe for just a little bit longer. He's buying time for the Colossus to be out, but third base is now being thrown up here by
it's been planted, and the observer has spotted it, and now Harstem is probably like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah. Uthermal's playing a really good series so far. If he keeps playing like he's played these past couple of series that we've seen him, you know, he could easily go on to Shenzhen, actually, watching how he's doing. Oh! A big mine hit. Got to be very careful about walking forwards here. And another nice mine hit on about 3 Zealots or so.
This is actually an insane performance by Uthermal. He has played so ridiculously well in this series. Look at this game. This is a stomp. He's up 32 supply and he's up a base. He doesn't even have to finish the game over here, but he's doing it just because he can.
Unbelievable. Gets the medevac on the retreat out here, but the reinforcements just keep streaming on forwards. And it's not like this is an all-in or anything like that.
No, it's the opposite.
The third base is just finished up. He's doing so well.
He's up 10 workers and he's up a base. He's up in upgrades as well, because Harstem doesn't even have a forge. Ridiculously, disgustingly well-played series by Uthermal.
Going for the Colossus. Tries to get it. Nice micro back from Harstem. Keeps it alive. And this Bioforce will take a bit of fire after trying to get that Colossus. But he could go in again. Oh, tried to. The Immortal's going to be impressed about.
Oh man, Harstem tweeted out before this series, this is possibly the hardest opponent I could have got in this bracket. And I wasn't sure if that was like a little bit of Dutch love or if he like meant it. And then I was still kind of curious to see maybe just take off a little bit of the pressure. But damn, like he was spot on, because I do not believe there's any European terror, and that includes Bunny, that could do this to Harstem.
Yeah, it's looking pretty brutal right now. And I mean, let's not forget as well, in the previous round, Uthermal beat Bunny in a TVT, which Bunny's normally pretty good at Terran versus Terran. He gets the Colossus. Gets out of there.
Uthermal overcommitted there a tiny bit before. Like, he lost a few more bio units than he had to. The Colossus count is a 2 right now. He has to be a tiny bit careful, because if he would lose this game, that would just be like the saddest lose of all time, because he played so ridiculously well. And, you know, he was up so much.
Well, Uthermal now going to reorganize his troops, get into a bit more of an aggressive stance on this right-hand side and maybe dive in. But at the same time, going up against 2 Colossi, it's not exactly the easiest now. Harstem has held on pretty well, actually. But now the next wave is heightened Viking numbers. And with the production that Uthermal has, how are you supposed to deal with that as Harstem?
I like what Uthermal's doing over here. Like, Uthermal realized, like, ooh, okay, maybe I overstepped my boundaries just a tiny bit. That army is actually quite scary. I have to be careful here. Don't fight it. Just buy time. Get some Vikings out. The third starport, or excuse me, the second starport is in a very awkward position. Can actually get easily picked off. I believe he got a Viking over there as well for free. So this game, no matter how well Uthermal has played early on, is actually not over yet. Yeah. And now I kind of like, I'm starting to dig Harstem's position a tiny bit. If he drops great force field, I think he might actually be able to do this. Of course, if the Colossus die, then Harstem dies. One Colossus is going to just kill the pylon Uthermal. That's exactly what he does. Okay, then now this game is over.
Yeah, that's pretty much a butchering of this army, unfortunately. Even though we don't mind, actually waddles on in there. A little bit more reinforcements coming in from Harstem, but there you go. GG, Uthermal moves on to the winner's bracket final to fight for that spot for Shenzhen after a brilliant performance from him.
Yeah, I mean, picking up those Marines against Oracle shots, like, I mean, like, whenever Terran players do that against me and I have Stalkers, I'm just like sitting there, it's like, oh yeah, you're so good at this game, you know, like, it just makes you mad because it looks fancy, but it's really not that fancy because Stalkers have low DPS and the shots travel. But an Oracle has almost burst damage, like, it's basically 2 ticks, as I call it, you know, it's like 1 tick and then there's damage, the second tick, it kills the Marine. Like, it basically, like, took damage, picked up. This is disgusting. And then, like, the follow-up is like, all right, it's over. No, it's not over. The heli is in the main. There's another Widow Mine drop in the natural. Sickly well played by Uthermal. I know they often jokingly call him Maru Thermal, but that was Maru-like.
Yeah, that was well played. And now we actually have an invite into